run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Who run the world? Girls. Who run the world? Girls. Who run the world? Girls.
Hello and welcome to another episode of She Worked Hard, Real Women, Real Life, a platform for us to tell our stories. I'm your host, Lauren Maley, and today we are welcoming Olivia, who has had a journey starting as a flight attendant and has done a career pivot into a project manager. And we are very excited to have her here today. So welcome,
Thank
Olivia.
you.
How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. I know that we have kind of talked in person, obviously, and I know a bunch about your story, but I'm hoping that we can tell it to the world and talk about where your journey began.
Okay. Well, my personal journey began here in Denver. I was born here, and then I moved away when I was 7. And then we moved to North Carolina, and then Maryland, and then Texas, Georgia, New York. Yeah, it was a lot. And then
How many states was that? Was that 10? I feel like you rattled off 10. Okay.
Thereabouts. And then, now I'm back here.
Awesome. Was there another country in there somewhere?
Okay, so before I moved to New York, I lived in Japan, and then Japan, New York, and then back here. That is the real trajectory.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what was it like living in Japan, and where did you live?
So I lived in this really tiny town called Ina in Nagano Prefecture, and it is beautiful. It's in the middle of a mountain valley, and I absolutely loved it. My teachers were super nice. I speak Japanese, so it was really easy to...
So impressive. Like, just so nonchalant. I speak Japanese. I'm like, what does that look like?
Accidental second major.
Okay.
It looks something like, はじめまして、私の名前は Olivia です。よろしくお願いします。
When that means...
Hi, my name's Olivia. Nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So,
Such a beautiful language.
Thank you. It's honestly one of my favorites.
You probably don't get to practice that very much in Denver, or is there?
No, but I do still keep in contact with all of my friends in Japan, so
very cool.
They like to practice English. I like to practice Japanese, so I will text them in Japanese and they will respond in English, and we just have just dual language conversations going on. It's totally fine. It's cool.
Oh my god,
I love it.
I love that. That's amazing. How long did you say you taught English?
So I taught English for 3 years officially in Japan, and then I tutored it for longer than that. I did it all through college and then in Japan, and then actually when I came back here for a little bit too.
Okay, very good. Yeah. So when you were growing up in Denver, what did that look like for you?
So my parents were not living together at the time, so I was like, I got the cool benefits of, getting spoiled on the weekends, 2 birthdays, all of that kind of thing.
Yes.
I was 7 when I moved, so I don't really remember a whole lot of being here. So sometimes we'll drive by things and my grandmother will be like, oh, we used to go here all the time. And I'm like, I don't remember. It's okay.
It's okay.
And I get to re-explore and relearn a lot of
How long have you been back here?
Is it 3 years already?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Gosh, that went by really fast.
2 years. No, it's 2 years.
Okay.
2 years, yeah.
Okay. So after your teaching career in Japan, you went on to do what?
I became a flight attendant.
Oh.
And that was super fun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about that job.
Okay, so I worked for JetBlue, which is a mostly domestic, low-cost carrier right now. Actually, they've expanded to Europe, which is pretty cool.
Interesting.
But yeah, so we got through flight attendant school, which is really intense. They basically prepare you for everything that you could possibly think of in 8 weeks.
Oh, wow.
It's 6 days a week for about 12 hours a day.
Oh, wow.
And you can only get below, I think, an 80% on 2 tests the whole time, and you have tests every single day.
Jeez, I didn't realize it was so rigorous.
Well, we have to be prepared for everything, right?
Okay,
so
like the plane crashing or?
Plane crashing, people having medical
Terrifying.
things,
oh my gosh.
disruptive customers, literally anything you can think of, we have to be prepared for it.
Okay.
And they have 8 weeks to train us on it.
Oh my gosh, that sounds really intense. So how long did you do that job?
So I was there for 3 years. I was also in Japan for 3 years.
Okay.
And then...
So you have 3-year cycles going on here in your life.
I mean, I'm hoping this one is longer than 3 years.
I hope so too.
But yes, 3 years seems to be about where it's at.
I hope so too. I hope you're definitely here longer than 3 years or it'd be very sad.
I mean, I think I would be too, so.
So being a flight attendant, I can only imagine the stories that you have to tell. So can you at least pick out like one or two that, you know, are cringeworthy or are funny? Because I know everybody here wants to hear what the real life of a flight attendant is like.
Okay, so one of my favorite stories
Yes.
is one time we were doing a transcontinental, I think it was New York to somewhere in California.
Okay.
And it was a red-eye flight, so everybody was asleep. It was very quiet.
Very
Service
calm.
was done. Exactly.
Yeah, it sounds
And I was
lovely.
in the back because I was working in the back for that trip. And all of a sudden I just hear, yeah, yeah. And I was like, what is this? And I keep
You're like, is
hearing
it a
it.
cat?
Right.
Is there an animal on this plane?
Right. And no, it's this woman and she's like screaming for help.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So
Is she in danger?
not her husband. So I stand up and I'm like, what's going on? And she's like wailing on her husband's chest and she's like, he's not breathing. He's not breathing.
Oh no.
And I'm like, okay. So I look at him and I'm like, and so I just reach over and I shake him really hard and he snorts and he wakes up. He was just really asleep. Right?
No.
And so she's like, I swear he wasn't breathing. I swear he wasn't breathing. And so I look at him and I'm like, sir, are you okay? And he goes, well, my chest hurts. And I'm like, I have ginger ale for that. I just gave him some ginger ale and we went about our day.
Wait a second. Did this man have a heart attack?
No, he was
Okay.
just really, really asleep.
So he has like sleep apnea. He stops
Probably.
breathing while he's sleeping.
Probably.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and I was like, okay. And she was like, I swear he wasn't breathing. I said, okay,
Oh my
I
gosh.
believe you.
Oh my gosh. Terrifying moments as a flight attendant. Like, is this person alive? Are they breathing?
So my first reaction to those kinds of situations, because honestly I had a lot of them,
Yes.
were, oh crap, here we go again.
Oh no.
Because
Because it happens so frequently.
exactly, and part of like the training that they give us helps us to just stay really calm.
Okay.
And so it's not really like being, oh my gosh, what do I do?
Right,
What do I
not
do?
panicking. You are very calm. That totally makes sense.
Thank you.
So everybody wants to know, do you really play favorites when you're the flight attendant
Yes.
and hand out booze? You do, right? Everybody knows it.
Okay. Maybe not hand out.
Okay.
booze.
But you have favorites,
Oh,
right?
we for sure
Okay.
have favorites.
Okay.
But it's so easy to be a flight attendant's favorite. If you bring us like a little gift at the beginning, like a
Yeah.
Starbucks gift card or a bag of chocolate
I
or
mean,
something.
it's very simple. Just a simple bribe will get you
I
a
mean,
long way.
Essentially, yes, essentially. And then maybe we do slip you an extra drink. If you order one, we give you a double.
Oh, see? Like, there are perks to being a
Exactly.
nice person in this world.
Exactly. Say good morning and
Yes.
don't ignore us when,
Yeah.
when you're walking by.
It's very simple. It's like human interaction 101, but you'd be shocked.
Right,
You'd
exactly.
be shocked.
Honestly, not that shocked.
Okay, what about creeper status on the plane? I know there are creepers. We all know there are creepers. I've seen them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's you. It's you.
Yeah.
Is this a thing?
Unfortunately, it is. I have had a few instances where I'm just minding my business, walking down the aisle, and I'll get like groped on the bum, or
Oh my
this older man poked me in the bum with his cane one time.
No! Did you turn
I
around
just,
and
like,
grab it
grabbed
and whack it?
I wish I could have.
Yeah,
I wish I could
that's
have.
what he deserves.
Right? But there's only like so much you can do.
Yeah, 'cause
30,000
you're at your
feet up in
job.
the air, and there's nowhere for them to go.
Well, I'm sorry that happened. Creepy men.
Pilots are worse.
The what?
Pilots are worse.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I don't even know if I want to open that can of worms.
Let's just say there is truth to the rumor that, pilots may have several families.
Oh no!
It's totally true. It's so true.
Well, I'm glad my husband's not a pilot.
I am
guess
too,
that's
for
just
you.
what I'll
Great for
say for
you.
the crowd. Oh no!
It's a lot.
Well,
It's a lot.
I hope that this can get better with time and awareness, which is why we're doing this show,
Yeah.
is to talk about these things. So thank you for sharing that. Is that the worst job that you've ever had?
No, I think working at a call center
Ooh.
was my absolute worst job. Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I worked for my college's telefund, so I had to call alumni and ask them for money.
Oh.
And so,
Sounds hard.
it's just really boring.
Yeah, and you feel
also-
like you're bothering them, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
And it's also like people who just graduated, so they
Yeah.
have exactly $0.
And they have exactly a lot of debt.
Exactly. It's like, oh, you graduated, now you're making lots of money.
Yeah. And you're like, that's not how it works.
No.
No money to give you.
Empty wallet, sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would just make phone calls all day, or?
Yep.
Okay.
So our shifts were about 2 hours at a time.
Okay.
And I worked a lot of them because
Okay.
I had like a work study job, so it was part of my scholarship. But I felt real cool because I had real money to pay for, extra meal plan stuff
Yes,
or like
yes.
whatever at the bookstore.
And this was where you went to college, which
Yeah.
was?
Emory University.
Cool. Very cool. So it was the call center for that university.
Yeah.
Okay. And
And
how
I-
long were you there?
I think I only lasted maybe 9 months.
Oh, it sounds like a really hard job.
It's just
I know you and I know your work ethic, so it must have been really bad.
it was honestly the worst. It was just sitting there and pushing buttons and like
so boring.
give me money please so I can say I have a good pledge rate please. Essentially, because we got a worse word at the end and no.
Oh God, I can't. It's so funny. It's not funny, but it's just so bad.
They're so
It's
bad.
just so bad. Talk to me about your degree choice and your GPA. Do those things really matter for, let's say there's someone going to college now and they're looking for a career in a certain type of field. Do you feel like those things really mattered when you went into the working world?
Honestly, no.
Yeah, I don't either. So I want to talk about it. It's like you stress over these decisions, right? Like,
Right.
am I going to get an A? Am I going to get a B? I'm so stressed out.
Right.
And I think it's important to tell other people, once you get work experience, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's like, did you go to college? Great. Even if you didn't, it doesn't matter. You can still get a great job if you're hardworking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ultimately, did the class choice matter at all? Those
Not
types of small things?
One bit.
Not
I'm not
one bit.
using. So I accidentally second majored in Japanese, which is where that came from.
Which is amazing.
Thank you.
Yes, so amazing.
But I'm not using really either of my degrees right now, and it's not really benefited me except to say I graduated from Emory.
Yeah. Can you talk to me about any moments in your life that have been like a pivotal moment or an aha moment where something really changed?
So one of the pivotal moments would be moving back from Japan.
I bet.
What made that decision for me was I was already like not super wanting to stay much longer, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I was like, okay, well, we can just keep doing this for a while until we figure it out. But then my great uncle passed away, and I was not necessarily super close to him, but my dad was. And I couldn't go to his funeral because I was like all the way across the world and
Yes.
tickets are expensive.
Yes.
And so not being able to be there for him was really not my favorite thing.
It's really difficult. And
Right.
being halfway across the world, you just feel helpless, essentially.
Right. Like he could have used more support than I could have provided from that distance. And so I wanted to be able to keep traveling because I got to do a lot of traveling when I was in Japan. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite things.
Where did you go?
I did a solo trip to Vietnam, Cambodia, Singapore.
Did you really? I
and
didn't know
Philippines,
that.
yes.
That's amazing. What was your favorite country you visited?
I think Thailand.
Yes, it's at the
Thailand.
top of my list. I haven't been. It looks amazing.
It's so pretty. Although Taiwan is a really close second because they have really good food and really pretty things to
love-
see, and it's just so much
Thai
to do.
food's my favorite food.
Yeah.
So I feel like that kind of
Thailand, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Was the food amazing and the people.
It's just beautiful cities, beautiful water, great food, great times.
Yeah, so nothing to complain about there.
No, although don't eat the street sushi. Like they have fish vendors that like put their fish on ice all day. Sanitary.
Ice.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So after you did your solo trip, you were kind of like, I'm ready to come home? Is
Yeah.
that kind of how that worked?
Yeah, so I did that and I was like, okay, well, I did a lot of traveling. I've done more traveling than a lot of people get to say that they have in general, because even growing up, my mom and my dad made sure that we traveled pretty consistently.
Oh, I love that.
And it's really cool. It's really great. I 100% appreciate my parents for that. But yeah, I was like, it's time to come home. How can I continue maybe traveling and then still be, accessible if needed? And one of my best friends from college, who was also my college mentor, was like, be a flight attendant. And she's actually still currently a flight attendant.
Cool.
She became one straight out of college. So she just hit her 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Long time.
so-
Very long time.
Yeah.
So is that how your mom ended up living in another country?
Yes. So
Okay. Where does she live?
she lives in Albania.
Okay,
for
that's what I
now.
thought.
She's
That's what I
actually planning on moving again.
Really? Where is she going now?
I don't know, and I don't think she knows yet. But she's
Very
just like,
free spirit. I love
exactly.
that. I really love that. You went and visited her recently,
I
right?
did. It's such a pretty country. I wasn't expecting it because I've never been over to Eastern Europe and I haven't really done a whole lot of research on it, but it's like any other place in Europe.
Cool. Very cool. So after you moved home, did you then get the job that you have now?
So I moved home. I moved to New York first.
Okay.
As a flight attendant because I was based out of New York.
That's right.
And then I was there for 3 years, and then COVID happened, and I took the opt-out package because I also was not happy as a flight attendant. It's a lot of bouncing around. It's a lot of hotels, and
Yes. It sounds kind of lonely.
It is, but also for me, it was just a cleanliness thing. Planes and hotels are not as clean as you would expect them to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, and with COVID and all the sickness going around, that was a really scary time, I think, for everyone.
Right, exactly.
And it was like unknown, you know, none of us knew what was going to happen. Nobody knew. I mean, I remember when they thought you could get COVID from surfaces and people were cleaning their their groceries outside of their house and wearing, full hazmat suits. And it was really, a different time. And here we are 3 years later and things are better. They're certainly better.
Yeah.
But after that, you got your job at the real estate company.
Yes.
And how's that?
It's amazing.
Good.
It was a little stressful, I'm not gonna lie,
Yes.
because I started as a receptionist, and that was cool. I felt like I hit my stride pretty quickly with that, figured it out, and then all of a sudden I got promoted, and I moved to the back as an administrative coordinator, or service coordinator technically.
Yes.
And that was a little bit more challenging than I expected it to be.
I bet.
Because there were some kinks that needed to be worked out.
Absolutely.
With the general manager, just like smoothing things out, smoothing out processes. But now that everything it's been a year, we've both hit our stride and we both are like more able to figure things out. So it's been a lot better.
Just in time to get promoted again, which congratulations on your recent promotion to project manager. Much deserved.
Thank you.
You're extremely hardworking, and the name of the show is She Worked Hard for a reason because it's so interesting to talk about people's journeys. They never end up where they started.
Nope.
And that's what makes it so interesting is every journey is so unique. You've lived in Japan, you speak a second language. I bet you never thought you would be a project manager working at a real estate company. And so when you look at your life and you think like, what is it going to look like? You can have a small plan, but life has other plans, and sometimes it turns out into this, beautiful thing that it has been for you, which is amazing. What parts of your personality do you think have aided you in your position?
I think, one, I'm a very level-headed person.
Yes,
I tend to not.
I can attest to that. You're very calm. It's lovely.
But it makes me a clear thinker. So, things, even when they come up, even if I'm annoyed in the moment, it doesn't really affect me as much as, like, if I were super emotional about things.
Absolutely.
I am a very organized, efficient person. If I don't have to waste time on things or menial things, I will not. And it helps me get things done fast.
Absolutely.
And I like it.
I also want to say that you're a team player.
Thank you.
You're always willing to help other people out, and I think that that's underestimated. I think I want to say that anytime you're the person raising your hand saying, can I help out the team? Can I do something extra? It's always looked upon fondly. Obviously, people appreciate people who are willing to help, and I think that that's a really lovely part of your personality.
Thank you.
Yes. When you look at your life and you're managing your work-life balance, how do you do that?
Boundaries.
Okay.
Very strict boundaries.
Okay.
For example, I have a work phone and a personal phone.
Love that.
And I didn't actually think I was going to end up using my work phone as much as I do, but I for sure do. And when I leave, it goes on do not disturb.
Don't bother me.
Exactly.
I love that.
And especially on weekends, I don't even look at it.
I love that.
I would overwork if I...
Absolutely, and that's needed. Like, people need to be able to see that setting boundaries is a healthy thing.
Yes.
And America needs to get on board with that
100%.
Because overworking people is outdated, and nobody is going to do that anymore. So I love that, and that's really good advice for people. So thank you for sharing that. I hear you have a secret hobby that we need to talk about. You know what I'm going to say. Keyboard extraordinaire.
Yes.
Can we please talk about this?
So I build keyboards.
Yes.
I am not quite at the level where I can do all of the soldering for the backlights and everything, but I love my mechanical switches. I love picking out keycaps. I built 4 for myself.
I think we need to see this keyboard.
Do you?
I think we're going to go get the keyboard. We'll be right back. We're going to go get Okay, we're back. We got the keyboard.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Can I hold it?
Of course.
Oh my goodness, I have to show this to everybody. Look at it, it lights up. This thing is absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
So how does this work?
So what I did was I bought the gasket or the frame, and so the lights were already down because I'm not that good yet. And so I put my favorite kind of switch in here, mechanical switch, and I got all customized keycaps, and I just recustomized it so that it's my favorite keyboard to work on.
Oh my gosh, it's absolutely beautiful. Talk to me about the special buttons on here. Is this one a cat over here?
This is my keyboard buddy. I thought she was very cute.
She's so cute.
She keeps me company while I'm working
Does she
every
have
day.
a name? What?
No. I
Maybe
know.
we have to name the cat.
Okay, well, what would you like to name the cat?
I'm a terrible pet namer. It can't be me.
Okay, well, I will name her after my previous cat. Her name will be Serafina.
Oh, Serafina is beautiful.
Yes,
I
thank
love
you.
her. Absolutely gorgeous.
She's a good kitty.
And what about this glass cube over here?
This is just decorative.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought it was pretty, so I bought it.
How do you know what that key stands for?
So these are all the function keys at the top.
Oh, that nobody uses.
Right.
That no keyboard really should have.
Exactly. And that's why I replaced them all with like things from a video game that I play in Japan. Because why not
Which
Japan?
video game do you play?
It's called Genshin Impact. It's like a very open world RPG type.
I
Very
know
fun.
nothing about video games, so that's about as far as my question will go. I'm really sorry. I know nothing. Sounds fun.
It super is.
I know some of the other people in our life played this video game, so I know it's super, super popular.
Yes, it's super fun.
Very cool. Well, thank you for sharing your keyboard with us. It is absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
Other than doing keyboarding
Yes.
and playing your favorite video game, what else do you do in your free time?
I have a dog who I love a lot, like a ridiculous amount.
Nova.
Yes.
We love her.
Yes.
So do you guys, where'd you get her from?
I got her from the Dumb Friends League a year
Nice.
ago, and
Very
she
nice.
is, I call her a gremlin because she's cute and obnoxious, and I can't imagine life without her.
Oh, sweet baby girl.
She's so sweet.
How old is she now?
She's 3, and she acts like she's 1, and she acts like she's a lap dog, and she's 70 pounds and comes up to my knees.
You're like,
It's
you
fine.
are crushing my lap.
Yeah, but she does it cutely, so it's fine.
Exactly. We love our animals and they can do no wrong.
Nothing.
I know my dog is the light of my life.
Right?
So yeah, being a dog mom is really great.
Yes,
I'm not gonna lie.
yes.
Anything else you do in your free time that you would like to share? Hang with friends and
I mean, yes, I hang with friends, go hiking, that kind of thing.
what are you most proud of in your life? A little more of a deep question.
I know. I mean, surface level, I mean, I'm pretty proud of myself for getting promoted twice in 2 years.
Absolutely deserves a round of applause.
Thank
you
you.
should be proud of yourself. You're amazing.
Thank you. Other than that, I think I'm just proud of rolling with it. I think life has been really interesting in all the different ways that it's taken me, and I've just been really flexible. I'm like, okay, cool, let's do this.
Absolutely. It's almost like just embracing the twists and turns
Yeah.
and then enjoying the journey, right? And
Exactly.
then where you end up is kind of just the cherry on top.
Exactly.
And sometimes you look back in life and you're like, how did I do that? How did I get here? But it happens because every single day you chug away and you tick away, and I think those little moments really matter, and people don't talk about that enough. So just wanted to acknowledge that, and that, your hard work and dedication obviously has paid off. What would you say to your younger sweet baby Olivia?
One, quit
One,
being
you're
such a
cute.
brat.
Oh, don't be a brat.
I'm an only child, so
Yes.
apparently I'm a very apparent only child. It's fine.
Okay. I mean, aren't most only children?
Yeah, apparently we're real obvious.
I mean, I wasn't going to say anything. Just
It's
kidding.
okay, it's okay.
Just kidding. I would never know you were an only child. I wouldn't.
But I think I would just say it's okay to not figure it out or
Yes.
have it figured out.
Yes.
Because I didn't know what I wanted to do when I went to college. I don't know what I want to do after college. I just knew that I wanted to be a good person.
Absolutely.
And that's pretty much
And you
all I
are.
had. Thank you.
You're an amazing person.
Thank you.
Any words of wisdom? I feel like you were transitioning into that words of wisdom there.
No, except for just, it's okay.
It's okay.
Just
Deep breath.
exactly.
I love that.
Breathe.
Well,
It'll be okay.
Thank you so much for coming in today and sharing your story with us. You are such an impressive young woman in this world.
Thank you.
You're a pleasure to work with and to know, and your story is super inspiring for not only younger women, but women of all ages who are maybe thinking about being a flight attendant in the future, or who are maybe thinking about the fact that they have no idea what they're going to end up doing, and to just keep chugging along in their journey. And I think that that's the reason why we're doing this, is to share and show that every single one of our journeys has been twists, turns, not linear, full of surprises,
Sure.
and we just have to adjust, right?
Yes.
And you roll with the punches, and then you end up in a really special place if you're hardworking.
Yeah.
So with that, please remember that she didn't get lucky, she worked hard.